the first card you have you passed is the Five of Swords. Okay, yeah, this is interesting actually. I know this is a horrible card, but I'm seeing something quite bad and then good kind of in this card. So it's like, okay, what I'm seeing is you left someone behind, and I think this was a while ago that you did this. You've separated from someone, a love connection, and I think, you know, you healed really, really well. It was like you moved on and you worked really, really hard to get them out of your head, to get them out of your mind. This isn't about just a natural, gradual moving on. It's about deliberately putting an effort in to work your way out of your emotions, to work your way out of a situation. And that's what you did. And you're like this, you know, you're really strong. And, you know, when someone hurts you, no matter how you feel, you might be feeling completely heartbroken, but the adrenaline kicks in, you force yourself to push forward, it pushes you on. And I think, yeah, I think there are two things about this. Even though this was a really good thing, I think, for you to get back into the world and to push yourself forward and get yourself back again, in some ways, I think you still had a little bit of that heartbreak inside you, and you weren't showing it, but it was still there. You know, if you look at this card, these two men are walking away from this kind of horrible man who's trying to hurt them and steal from them, whatever, steal their swords. But they're walking toward the water, they're walking toward emotion. So you walked away, you were very brave, you worked really hard, but you were still emotional. You still had that emotion inside you. And there are good and bad sides of walking away and putting on a brave face and working hard and all of that. The other thing here is, okay, there's another thing here. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you know that this happened. There's a near miss here. I think it's a really strange coincidence that I'm seeing. I think you just missed out on seeing them. You know, it was sometime after the separation, and you know, it might be that you went to something and you left early and then they arrived. It might be something like that, or maybe you maybe there was something on social media that came up and it was taken down before you saw it. Something like that. You missed out on seeing them in some way. It was a coincidence. So if you know what this is, you might not. You still might not know this even happened. But this near miss where you nearly saw them, I think it came at a time when you're actually quite vulnerable. You know, you're working hard to push through this. And I think, you know, if you had have seen them at this time, say if you didn't have this near miss and you saw them, I think it actually would have set you back again. And you wouldn't have shown this. You're very, very strong, but inside yourself you would have, you know, been set back emotionally. So, yeah, all I can really say is keep going. If you're still going through this, keep moving forward. Also, try and take some time out when you can, just to let yourself feel things, because I don't think you're letting yourself do that. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, if you let yourself feel the feelings, I'm not saying sit around wallowing, I'm just saying let yourself go through feelings instead of pushing. You know, that will prepare you for when things like this do happen. It won't set you back as hard, because you know, you'll be prepared emotionally. You had a near miss this time, but you know, you still have a bit of that emotion inside you, I think. And you know, you might see them again, you might hear about them again, and you don't want that to set you back. So try and work through those emotions instead of pushing and working away from them, if that makes sense. Okay, the next card you have, you pass the Star. Yeah, I'm not saying you would have weakened at the first sight of them, but I just think all this pushing, all this forcing, I just don't think you gave your time to process things properly, if that makes sense. You know, there's an ibis on this card just by this woman's elbow, and you know, ibis are known for being really, really resilient. They're like you actually, but you know, she also looks a little bit vulnerable here. You know, she's naked, she's all by herself. So it's just about getting that balance between forcing yourself through something and sitting around wallowing. And you're not doing that. I'm not saying you are, but there needs to be a balance between the two. And that's what this woman's representing in this card. She's representing balance, because she's kind of balancing between the water, the emotion, and she has her other foot on the ground. So she's really well balanced. And there's also a lot of balance in the Temperance card under that as well. It's very similar. So I don't want to say any more about this because I feel as if I'm telling you what to do. And you know, you coped with this really well. I mean, I'm not saying you didn't cope with this. I'm just saying, you know, you need to think about your emotions a little bit more. But you worked through this really, really well. True Leo style, you know, pushing through the pain. You know, because they really hurt you, and the way you bounced back under the circumstances, it was really amazing. I don't want to take that away from you because you did really well. Okay, so the last card you have, you passed Temperance. Yeah, you know, I'm actually surprised the Hermit card's not here because, yeah, you worked really, really hard. I'm seeing that. You might have even had 2 jobs or 3 or 3 or more even, because I'm getting this. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to be successful. That's what's going to push me forward. That's what's going to set me free. I'm going to work all hours. I'm going to get lots of money. I'm going to get this and that, and I'm going to be really successful. And yeah, it also feels like, I think in your downtime, when you did have downtime, it feels like you're a little bit more closed off to people as well than you normally would be. You know, you weren't a total hermit. You're still talking to people. But I think what happened is you walked away from this ex and this person who really hurt you. And I think walking away from them kind of woke you up in a way. And I think you realised how much you've been putting up with them, but also with other people as well. You know, you're not a doormat, you're not like that at all, but you're the opposite of that. But you're generous. You know, if you have things or if you experience things, you want other people to be able to experience them as well. Sometimes with you, or you want to kind of help them. And I actually think someone tried to take advantage of that. Yeah, I'm seeing one specific person here. There are other people around them as well. So maybe this is family. I don't know, because I'm seeing a really close connection between you. It feels a little bit difficult as well. There's a bit of a strained connection. Maybe the strain happened after this happened. But I think what happened is someone asked you too many favours, one too many favours maybe, or maybe they asked you for something that was a bit too much or pushed you a bit too far. And maybe that's when that strain happened because, you know, you said no, basically. You said no to someone, and they weren't very happy with that, I don't think. They probably got other people involved in wealth as well, family, because I'm seeing family around this. Maybe they tried to get people to talk to you or gang up on you or something. But you said no, and I think that really set you free, you know, because this is about rising up into freedom. So, yeah, saying no gave you more freedom. And I think once you left this person, you said no, and then you're like, okay, I can say no to more things and more people. And it kind of really set you free from a lot of burdens. That's what I'm seeing. So that's what's come out of this heartbreak. It feels like, you know, obviously it's really sad to go through heartbreak, but it set you free. It kind of set things in motion like dominoes, one thing after another, to kind of you know, set you into more freedom, to have more time to yourself, to have more, just have more everything to yourself. That's what I'm seeing. So it was a really, really, really big turning point for you. Really, really positive, coming out of the negative. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is an amazing card for you. Fantastic card. It's energy, movement. This is you, really. This is what you like. Pushing through things, energy, moving forward. Now, this energy, this kind of work and pushing, it feels a lot freer to me. It feels as if you've broken away from a lot of obligations, a lot of expectations. This is the no that set you free, and now you're free. There might still be a bit of fallout around you after you said no, putting your foot down. But I think you're realising it's absolutely worth it. You know, you're really happy you did that. and you're ignoring a lot of this fallout. I think I'm seeing you kind of ignoring phone calls, because I think you've had a lot of people kind of calling you. Why did you say no? Why didn't you do this? You're obliged to do this. A lot of family energy here, but I think you're kind of politely declining. I don't think you're being rude. You're just saying no in your way, and you're not going to be swayed. So yeah, you're dealing with a lot of fallout, I think, but you're dealing with it well. And if you look at this card, it has this kind of very clear background. It looks like a clean sheet of paper or a fresh canvas. That's how it always looks to me, that card. So it's like obligations out of the way, bad relationship out of the way, all that stuff out of the way. Now I have this space, I have this clear slate, I can put what I want on that. This is my time, this is my space, this is time for me now. So that feels really, really positive, feels very clean, very clear, ready for you to write what you want on this canvas or paint what you want on this canvas. The other thing is, okay, this is what I'm seeing. If you're single, okay, it's a little bit strange. This is about someone who's really attracted to you, actually. They're not around you, they're not physically around you. I think you might have spoken to them. There's a big online thing I'm getting here, that you're kind of speaking to them online, or they're speaking to you, or they're messaging you or something. I think you have spoken to them face to face once, or maybe you're around them personally once. Okay, part of me wants to protect you from this, actually. It's a little bit silly, I know, to feel like that, but that's how I feel, because I think, yeah, this is someone who's going to contact you privately online, DMs or whatever it is. And yeah, they're very, very physically attracted to you. Yeah, I'm seeing this again. They've met you, but I think there are a lot of other people around when they met you. So maybe they got lost in the crowd, or you did, and maybe you noticed them, maybe you didn't, I don't know. But okay, I'm not seeing anything long-term in this, I have to say this. And that might be fine. It might suit you to just kind of have a fling, or see them, or have fun, or whatever. But if you are looking for something long-term with this person, I don't think this is the person for you. And this is why I want to protect you, because they're really, really full on in the beginning. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing full on, full on, full on, and then running away. That's what I'm getting. Full on, over the top, and then running off. So you do not need this if you want something more permanent, if you want a proper relationship. This is not what you want. It's like, oh, you're so amazing, you're so wonderful, over and over again, all of that kind of thing. Bombardment. It makes me feel a little bit claustrophobic, actually, this bombardment. And then they kind of run away. That's what I'm seeing. So just be aware of that. And look at the 8 of Wands under this as well. Flying away, rushing away. So they're in and then they're out. That's what I'm getting. So just be aware of that. There's just another thing I wanted to say while I'm on this card. If you're working at 2 jobs, or even 3 jobs, or whatever, which is what I've been seeing here, or maybe you're just working really hard, it might be time for you to cut some of that extra work out, if you can, and focus more on where your heart wants to go, where your passion is, if you can, because sometimes people are financially pressed and they need different jobs. If that's not the case, try and cut down on that. And because I'm seeing a lot of imagination coming in, I'm seeing a lot of really interesting ideas coming in. Innovative ideas are going to come in for you. So try and clear the way for that to come in if you can. Beautiful, creative, free-flowing energy. It's not the stoic, get up and grind every day kind of energy that I was seeing in your past. This is a new kind of energy. So I just want you to make the most of that while it's there. So that's what I had to tell you there. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the 8 of Wands. Yes. Again, fast messages, bombardment, someone who's really attracted to you, and, you know, anyone who sends me billions and billions of messages like that, I'm exaggerating, it's not billions, but it's a lot. That just makes me want to run the other way. It really does. I mean, a few messages here and there, that's fine, that's one thing. But this looks completely crazy, bombardment once again. And, you know, you might do this. You might run the other way like I would. But I have to keep on warning you from this, because it's like, I love you, you're amazing, you're wonderful. They're going to be very full on at the beginning. They might even talk about a future, marriage, all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's like, well, I've only just met you and you're saying all this stuff over the top, over the top, over the top, and then running away. That is the last thing you need. If you've been through this heartbreak and you meet this new person and you're bombarded by them, please try not to let your heart get carried away with this, because you don't need more hurt now. You're just getting through this other thing. They are going to bombard you and run away. That's what I'm seeing in this person. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Two of Wands. Yeah, wands everywhere. So, okay, this is what I'm seeing here. If there's something you've been working on and you put it aside, a project or something, it might be time for you to take this out again. And it is the right time for you to do this, because you've got all this amazing kind of creative energy coming in. So it is the perfect time for you to do this again. And yeah, I can see why you might have put this aside, this project. If this resonates, it feels like you had some kind of emotional attachment to this project, and I think it might be connected to this ex, actually, in some way. I know that sounds really strange, but maybe you were working on it when you were with them. Maybe they made promises. Maybe they said, oh, when you do this project, I'll help you with this. I'll help you to move forward with this. You'll be able to do a business. You'll be able to do this. I know someone who can help you, all this thing. Maybe it represented where you were heading. Maybe it represents a future you had with them where you saw yourself, or it might just remind you of them. But, you know, if this resonates, get this out, start working on this again. Because I just feel as if I need to remind you that this is your thing. This is your project. It might remind you of them, but it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. And I think if you work on this, it might help you to move forward as well. Because if you do work on this now, it's going to create new memories around this thing. You won't be stuck in the past with this. So just have a think about that if that resonates with you. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Queen of Cups. Yeah, okay, I hate to say this, but I have to tell you what I'm seeing. So, okay, from what I'm seeing everywhere in this reading, I'm seeing it here now again, you probably still have a little bit of a part of you that's not quite over this ex yet. Now, that doesn't mean you want them back, doesn't mean you want to go, you know, jump into their arms again, doesn't mean any of that. You know, they're coming up as the Five of Swords, so obviously they treated you pretty badly, so of course you don't want them back. You know, I think it's just that, all I can say is it just takes time, and I think, you know, I think working on this project again that's in the Two of Wands, that might help you to move forward as well. Hopefully you're going to do that, give you new memories of this project. You know, because I think sometimes when things are put away, you know, because we're giving them certain meanings, especially negative meanings, it can be a bit like pushing a blow-up ball under the surface of a swimming pool. You know, you can try and push things down. You go, oh, that feels negative for me. It reminds me of my ex. I'm going to put it in a cupboard. I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to think about it again. But of course, you're going to think about it. It comes up again and again. The more you push it down, the more it comes up. So I think what this is telling me is bring it up to the surface, look at it, deal with it, do something about it, work on this, and it's going to help you to push through this problem or this kind of heartbreak that you've still got. It's just a little bit. It's not a huge amount. And yeah, again, this is reflecting what I was seeing in the Star card. Sometimes you have to let yourself be a little bit vulnerable just to allow yourself to heal properly. That's true strength. You know, you've got the outer strength right, and I think you've probably got 98% of the inner strength right. It's just that last little bit that you have to deal with. So hopefully this project, if that resonates, will help you with that. And if that doesn't resonate with you, I think it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. And don't think that you're going to rush into a new relationship, especially with this Ace of Wands person, because sometimes people want to escape their heartbreak by getting into something new. And it's very tempting with this person who's bombarding you. But I think if it's very short-lived and they run away and break your heart, you're going to be doubly heartbroken. And I hate to see that for you. And that's why I keep on seeing all these warnings around this Ace of Wands person. So be aware of that. If someone comes in and bombards you, that's the person you've got to be aware of and kind of run away from. Okay, so I'll just go on to the next card. The next card you have your future is the Sun. This is so strange. You know, this is a really nice card, a really positive card, but I'm not seeing that here. I'm seeing something really, really strange. Okay, I'll try my best to explain what this is. I've never seen this before in this card or in a reading before. Very, very strange. I'll tell you what I'm seeing. If it makes sense, it makes sense. Hopefully the message will get out to someone who needs it. I think this is going to be something quite specific, so it probably won't resonate with most people. But this is what I'm seeing, and someone needs to hear this, so I'm going to say this. Okay, I'm seeing a father here, or it might be a father figure. It can be anyone who's kind of an older man who has that kind of who's in a kind of fatherly role. It might be a male teacher. It might be a man who might be an uncle. It could be a father, or it could be a father who's here. It might be a father who's passed on. It's a father figure. Now, okay, what I'm seeing is there's some information about this person, this man. Other people know what this is. Not everyone, but some people. And this information is going to come out. It's going to come to light. That's what the Sun card's about, something coming to light. And it's surprising. It's really surprising. It might be a shock. I think it might actually be a big shock. Now, I don't know how much you already know about this. I think you're going to find out what you don't know. It's all coming to light. I'm seeing a piece of paper. Someone's holding up a piece of paper. And that's where this information comes from. It's on this piece of paper. It might have already come to light. I'm not sure where you are with this, whether you know this or not, whether it's for you or not. But if this happens, it's probably going to change your perception of them, this man. And you might be a little bit hermit-like for a while, just while you're processing this, because it's a big thing that's coming to light. Now, okay, the other thing on this card, obviously, is that you are going to get through this sadness. You're going to get this out of your system, and you're going to feel a lot freer, like this child after that. So that's the other positive thing there. But the big thing I'm seeing in this card is about this man, this male father figure. Something is going to come out. I don't want you to worry about this, because it's not happening now. It's something that's happened in the past, and it's coming to light. You may already, I keep on saying you may already know about this. You may already know about this, or you might know part of it, and the other part might be coming to light for you. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. If it does, that's for you. So obviously. Okay, so the last card you have your future is the Five of Cups. Yeah, so if this does come to light, you're not going to be super miserable like this man on this card. You're just going to be processing this. This is emotional processing. You're going to go through a lot of that in your head, just processing all of this. And, you know, I think with this card, I think people around this situation, people who know about this, they might say, oh, come over to my place. They might invite you to things like this cup someone's offering to this man, and he's saying no. So you might feel like staying away from all of those people for a while, not because you don't like them, just because you kind of just feel like, oh, I just need to distance myself from this for a while just to get my head around all of this. So that's going to happen. You are going to come back to them eventually. And, please don't be worried about this. I don't want to stress anyone out. No one's in any harm. And this is past news, but it's coming out now. So, no one's in danger. It's just a bit of emotional fallout. That's what's going to come out of this. Don't stress about this, please. And again, you might already know what this is. So I know that's a very strange ending there, but hopefully that's for someone who understands what that's about.